A traumatic injury can happen anywhere at any time, day or night. At home, at work, at school, at a sporting event, or even driving a car. Some of these injuries are so dangerous that the victim may die before an ambulance arrives. But if you were in a situation where someone needed your help, would you be up to the challenge to provide basic trauma care? Your decision could make the difference in a person's life. Simple action by bystanders like you can save a life. The Public Access Trauma Care Program, or PATC, from the Maryland National Capital Region Emergency Response System, gives you the skills, tools, and confidence to provide care until first responders arrive. Being the first on scene and using these tools, you may just save the life of a family member, loved one, friend, or stranger.
Hey, Camillo, how you like your burgers cooked?
Medium, please. Can you give me a medium burger?
Got it.
Thanks.
Hey, did you get that video I sent you the other day?
I did. It was a dog video, I think.
Being a dog lover, I thought you'd like it.
Thanks, man. I'll check it out.
Why didn't you send it to me?
Hey, when I'm finished grilling, I'll send it to everybody.
Sounds good.
Wait, do y'all smell that? Wait!
Would you know what to do or how to provide initial care?
When you encounter a patient with any bleeding, the first step is to apply direct pressure. Have the patient or partner hold direct pressure on the wound. Locate the pair of gloves in the PATC kit and quickly put them on both hands. Visualize the wound. You may not easily locate the wound, and you may need to either roll clothing down or cut clothing using the trauma shears. Locate the package labeled Emergency Trauma Dressing in your PATC kit. Use the red quick tear notches and open the package and pull the bandage out of the package. Use 2 hands to pull the Velcro apart on the dressing until you see the pad. Place the pad directly onto the wound with the label facing up. Wrap the dressing on top of the pad while maintaining constant tension and pulling the bandage tight after each roll. Continue wrapping until the entire dressing is used. Press the Velcro fastener against the bandage to secure it. Wait for additional help to arrive. When you encounter a patient with major bleeding from the arms or legs, use a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. Have the patient or partner hold direct pressure on the wound. Locate the pair of gloves in the PATC kit and quickly put them on both hands. Locate the tourniquet in your PATC kit. Unfasten the Velcro and straighten out the tourniquet. Wrap the tourniquet around the wounded extremity, placing as high on the limb as possible. Pass the red tab on the end of the tourniquet through the opening on the buckle. Use one hand to hold the buckle while using the other to pull the remaining material of the self-adhering band as tight as possible. Fasten the tourniquet back onto itself, all the way around the limb, but not over the rod clip. The band should be tight enough that the tips of 3 fingers will not fit between the tourniquet and the skin. If the tips of 3 fingers fit under the band, retighten and resecure. Twist the rod until the bleeding stops. This will hurt, and that is okay. Secure the rod in the clip to lock it in place. Secure the time strap and note the time on the strap using your permanent marker located in the PATC kit. Wait for additional help to arrive. When you encounter a patient with a penetrating wound where the neck meets the shoulder, in the armpit, or in the groin, you must pack the wound. Have the patient or a partner hold direct pressure on the wound. Locate a pair of gloves in the PATC kit and quickly put them on both hands. Locate the compressed gauze in your PATC kit. Visualize the wound. You may not easily locate the wound, and you may need to either roll clothing down or cut clothing using the trauma shears. Use a clean cloth or clothing to blot the blood away from the wound. Use the red quick tear notches to open the compressed gauze. Find one end of the gauze roll. Make 2 small loops around your fingers. Make several more loops and form them into a small ball of material between your fingers. Using the pointer finger on your dominant hand, press the ball of gauze deep into the wound against the source of the bleeding. Continue to pack gauze into the wound with the pointer finger of your dominant hand while you use your other hand to unroll and feed gauze. Fill the entire wound cavity and pack to the bone. Pack all the gauze in the wound. If you require additional gauze, use the remaining gauze located in your PATC kit or use additional kits if necessary. If you have extra gauze, place it directly over the wound. After packing is complete, maintain direct pressure on the wound. Secure the packing with an emergency trauma dressing compression bandage. Wait for additional help to arrive. If you encounter a patient with a penetrating wound to the chest, abdomen, side, or back, use a chest seal to close the opening. Locate the pair of gloves in the PATC kit and quickly put them on both hands. Visualize the wound by removing or cutting the injured person's clothing using the scissors included in your PATC kit. Find the chest seals in the PATC kit. Use the red quick tear notches to open the package and remove the seals. Unfold the chest seal so that it is flat. Wipe any excess blood and/or dirt away from the wound with a gauze pad. Hold the red tab on the bandage with one hand and the clear tab on the lining with the other, and pull them apart to remove the clear lining from the dressing. Place the dressing on the patient's skin, adhesive side down, centered over the wound. Firmly press the dressing against the skin to ensure a good seal. Look for additional wounds on the chest, stomach, sides, and back. Use a chest seal to cover any additional wound you find. If you run out of chest seals in your kit, use seals from additional kits or use the medical tape in the kit to seal additional wounds. Wait for additional help to arrive. After treating the patient, or if the patient is unconscious or unable to move, it is important to protect them from shock by placing them in the recovery position. Start by lifting the patient's arm closest to you and placing it straight over their head. Lift the patient's other arm and place it across their chest, with a hand resting on the shoulder. Bend the knee furthest from you so that the foot rests on the ground. Grip the knee and shoulders of the patient and roll them onto their side, using your knee for leverage if necessary. Open the package containing the emergency blanket and completely unfold the silver blanket. Cover the patient's entire body with the blanket, carefully ensuring that the blanket wraps around the patient's head while leaving their face uncovered. Wait for additional help to arrive.
Wait, do y'all smell that? Wait! We have to make sure it's safe.
Wait, look at them. We need to help.
I think what we smelled was a gas leak. Try and turn it off.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
Quick, call 911. Go get the trauma kit. You take care of Vince.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Both Marlo and Mariah first find the gloves in their kit and place them on their hands. Marlo notices a wound on Camilo's forearm. She grabs the emergency trauma dressing and removes it from the packing. Then she unrolls it and places the padded portion over the wound. She then tightly wraps the dressing around the pad and secures it by pressing down the Velcro fastener. Marlo then identifies a large spot of blood seeping through Camilo's shirt. She grabs the scissors to remove the shirt to better visualize the injuries. The injury to the chest prompts Marlo to grab a chest seal. Marlo removes the chest seal from the packaging, places the chest seal over the wound, ensuring the wound is in the middle of the placement, and then presses firmly around the edges for a complete seal. Marlo has done a good job with her care, so let's shift our attention to what Mariah is doing. Mariah notices a large bleeding injury to Vince's leg. She realizes that she needs to apply a tourniquet to prevent life-threatening blood loss. Grabbing the tourniquet from the kit, she unfastens it and places it high on Vince's leg. She passes the red tab through the buckle opening and pulls the end as tight as possible. She fastens the tourniquet back onto itself all the way around the limb, careful not to be over the rod clip. Finally, she twists the rods until she sees the bleeding has stopped. Mariah now moves to address the wound to Vince's armpit. First, she finds the compressed gauze in the kit. Blotting the blood away from the wound, she is now able to visualize the extent of the injury. Taking one end of the compressed gauze, she loops it around her fingers to form a small ball, and then using her dominant pointer finger, presses the ball deep into the wound. She continues packing until the wound is full, and then maintains constant direct pressure on the wound. She secures the gauze with an emergency trauma dressing. Now that Marlo and Mariah have applied the required aid, they gently move their injured friends into the recovery position. They start by lifting the patient's arm closest to them over the head, then lift the other arm and place it across the chest, and bend the knee furthest from them. They then use the patient's knee and shoulder to roll the injured men towards them. Finally, they each remove an emergency blanket from its packaging and spread it out over Vince and Camilo's bodies. They ensure the head is covered, but the face is not.
What happened?
There was a gas explosion. He has a wound on his arm and I wrapped it. There's a chest seal on his back and on his front.
I put a tourniquet on his leg and I packed the wound under his armpit.
For more information about the Public Access Trauma Care Program, please visit mders.org.